Since we're talking about some of these teams, obviously we know the draft is coming up on Wednesday.
Yep.
And so with that, I wanted to redraft one of the greatest drafts, 2009.
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to take over the first pick. We have a nice, beautiful graphic that's coming up here on the side to remind everybody who was in this draft. Look
at this. Nice graphic.
Yep. So I'm going to take the first pick in this draft. Okay. And with the first pick, you know who I'm taking.
Of course.
The greatest point guard of all time. Changed the game. Shoots the ball from half court. The light-skinned man.
Yep.
Wardell.
Yep.
Stephen Curry.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I was looking back at this draft. The Timberwolves had back-to-back picks before him and took Johnny Flynn and Ricky Rubio.
Imagine that. You needed a point guard. You had 2 opportunities to get it right. And don't get me wrong, Johnny Flynn was a problem at Syracuse in college.
I like Rubio too.
And Rubio had a great career.
But man.
And he'll be somewhere in this draft. But you missed out on the greatest point guard of all time. Well, they got an opportunity to have a top 5 shooting guard of all time. We'll see what Ant can do. But all right, you got the second pick, Trav. So who are you picking, man?
It's tough to stomach that. I'm going Blake Griffin.
Okay.
By the way, he was the first pick, right?
Yep.
And, obviously redrafting it now, you wouldn't make him number 1, but he'd be up there on my list. He'd be 2.
Yep.
I still contend that Blake Griffin could be a complementary piece on a championship team. Could have been. Obviously, Lob City, as exciting as they were, was a worse place for him because they didn't really have the alpha dog. Everyone thought it was Chris Paul. It wasn't. I think Blake Griffin in the right scenario with a true number 1 option on a team where he can be the 2 or 3 option, I think he could have won a title. Right. And clearly, if he had run it back with Boston for one more year, he would have got a title here.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go Blake Griffin too.
Okay, I got to ask this though. What is it, the braids? You hate Arizona State or something? Well, what's going on? I'm taking James Harden.
I want no parts of it.
Lefty, step back,
Loser. Loser.
At the 3, because he should be the 2 spot. We're talking about guys.
What is it, the braids?
Neither of the dudes have won anything. So I'm going to take a guy who's actually won MVP and go with James Harden.
He's a loser. All right, here's another loser. Give me DeMar DeRozan, although where did he go to high school? I know he's from L.A. Is he from around your way?
Yeah, he went to Compton High School, man.
Did you watch him in high school?
Yeah. He was a guy. Comp 10, number 10. That's what his nickname back then, Debo. He was a real player back then.
Wow.
Man, a problem for sure.
I always liked his game. I'll go DeMar DeRozan.
Yep. Okay. And I mean, you got me thinking about like you just hate LA. Like I mean, you just
don't.
You hate. I
love Drew Holiday.
And that's who I'm going with next.
I love
Come
Drew
on,
Holiday.
man, Drew Holiday.
I love Drew Holiday.
Just disrespecting, and no disrespect to DeMar. Obviously, he's an LA kid as well.
Right.
But like, dang, you did Artesia dirty. You doing Campbell Hall dirty.
Yeah.
I'm taking Drew at the 5 spot. I probably would have took him over DeMar. Yeah. Honestly, so I'm gonna take him here, man. Mr. UCLA.
Where's Poly? That's where I would have went to school.
Poly, Long Beach. You're not even in LA. You would have been there with Snoop.
Yeah, bro. Poly. See, I'm always drawn to Long Beach. I don't know what it is. All right, I'm going Ricky Rubio.
Okay.
You said it earlier. Like he's no Steph Curry.
Yeah.
But Ricky Rubio, because of his skill set, had a long career. I mean, he's a obviously facilitator first. He can run your offense. Good speed. Wasn't the best defender you've ever seen, but who the hell defends in the NBA anyways? I'll go Rubio.
Nobody. All right. And then at 7, then I got to take Brandon Jennings. I just remember how great he was when he was at his peak.
Yeah.
Really put Under Armour on the map before Steph Curry. You know what I mean? And, we have a lot of kids now who are born in the States, go play overseas. He was really one of the first to do it and do it well. So I got to take him here.
I like that. All right, look, I can't stand him as a broadcaster, but I loved him in college. And I thought, obviously he was a key piece in some of those Spurs teams. I'll go Danny Green here.
Okay.
Just a guy that could catch and shoot in a league where increasingly, now 2009, was different, but as the years went on, he aged well because of that skill set in a league where you need to shoot the three. Yeah. So I'll go Danny Green there.
Yeah, I like that. He's a winner. Another guy that competes really hard like Danny Green that I'm going to take is Patrick Beverly. I'm going to take him in the 9 spot right here, which some people may or may not like, but I absolutely value the defensive side of the basketball, and he's one of the best guards in the league that we have at doing that. So I got to take him here at 9.
All right, this is the last pick, right?
Yep, last pick.
So I'm looking at the player pool here.
Yep.
Guys like Jeff Teague, Darren Collinson, I still see. Patty Mills, I still see. Taj Gibson, I'm looking at his name. Wes Matthews, I'm looking at his name.
Yep.
I think I'll go Jeff Teague here. People don't realize because, like, he's funny and, like, on these podcasts and making people laugh.
Yep.
But he was a really good player. He's actually an all-star. With the Hawks, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, that's correct.
He had a complete game, I thought. Like he could knock down a shot if you gave it to him. Yep. He was athletic enough to get to the cup, draw contact, defender, pass. He was like an all-around really good player that never got any props. Averaged 12 points in his career. I feel like he's a good bench guy. I'll go Jeff Teague as the last pick. I'm a fan of his. I like his game.
Yeah, I don't hate that. I probably would have took him there as well.
Okay.
I was teetering with some other guys, but I like that. I like that pick, Travis.
All right. Well, there you go. We redrafted the 2009 draft. That was a damn good draft, too.
Yeah, it was great. I think some people account it as one of the best in history. So, obviously we know 84. I think 03 was also a great draft. We might do some of those in later episodes.
I love that.
But
redrafting.
Yes, sir.
Revisionist history.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, what are we going to do here for the Celtics? Because the real draft is coming up in a couple days.
Yep.
And I told you, I've been all over this, and I have heard no traction around it. So I know it's not going to happen. In fact, I've heard this guy's going to go sooner than I want.
Yeah.
But I have said from the beginning, going back to college season, I thought Zach Edey would fit with the Celtics. The whole reason I've said that is because I think this team should draft size. I believe when you look at this front court now, injury issues for Porzingis that are not going away. Age issues for Al Horford that are not going away. He's not going to get younger overnight, okay? I know we all love him. But Zach Edey's someone who can come in. He has the size of both of those cats. He's slow, but we know he can score in the post. I believe he can do that in the NBA. Back to the basket, turn around, jump hook either hand. He's going to cook. So if he's coming off your bench, you could slow your offense down, make it a more post-style offense when he's in the game. I need him to get a little bit faster in terms of running the floor, but you can work on that. And then I need him to just develop a basic Fisher-Price, my first catch-and-shoot three-pointer. That's all I need. Get your big butt out there at the line. If it comes to you, knock it down. That's it. And I think he can do that. Another guy I like, even though he's a dookie, is Kyle Flipkowski. I don't know if he's going to be there either. But this is where I'm thinking, Tay. I'm thinking front court because I need Al and Porzingis to mold these guys. So when Porzingis gets hurt and when Al retires, we don't miss a beat at all. And this is a weak draft. So why not get some size in here? And these are two guys that I think can fill that void strategically.
Yeah, I agree. I think with the 30th pick, I'd really like to see them draft Flip as well. That's really where I'm locked in at. I think that he's 7 foot. Right now, he's been able to show the ability to stretch it out to 3. He shoots about 3 threes a game, makes about one of them. And I think he can really bang. He has a lot of that kind of Porzingis in him where he's not afraid to be close to the rim, but he's also not afraid to be, further away from it.
That's right.
And he can stretch the floor, put the ball on the floor really well. Duke, they run a great offense where their bigs are really involved. Have to know how to pass out of the post.
Right.
I think he'll be good at doing that for a Celtics team that has a lot of shooters. And obviously we know anybody who they take in this draft is going to be a project. You know what I'm saying? They're going to need some time to really fit into this team. And so I think it kind of fits the timeline where we kind of alluded to that, like, KP might be the one guy who doesn't really stick around with this group long term. You know what I mean? So in 2 to 3 years, if that is the case, then Flip should be ready at that point.